Testimonials. Start playing testimonials.
Working with Matthew White and his team has been one of the best experiences that I've had. And what specifically changed and shifted for me was having the mechanics and the confidence behind what was being done, and then just needing to show up talking about the things that I enjoy the most. And what surprised me most about the experience was actually how little I did know about the process of getting people into the room. I thought my biggest problem was not knowing what to sell them, but learning how to actually have people show up and the messaging. So couldn't recommend him more. He's always been there. He's always been genuine. There's been no information that's ever been held back. He's been there every single time I've needed him, and him and his team have just been fantastic.
I had all this nightmare with the bank stuff, but it's like in 1 month, I'm focusing on look at everything we've done. Literally created an entire new business model, offer, website, masterclass, everything. I could never have done this without you. You guys are amazing. And I trust you. And, you know, to say I trust somebody is even more than saying I love you, because I've just been burned by so many people. And it's just, I know that this is something that people really want. I just haven't always known the best way to say it. And the marketing part and the messaging is so critical. So I just have such a deep respect for you and what you guys are doing. You just make me feel really safe. So thank you.
I've been working with Matthew, and I can feel the huge difference and improvement in my business. It was one of the best business decisions I made. If I can measure, I would say 300%. It moves the needle, not like gradually it goes up this way. Or it's been like almost like you're driving with a dirty windshield, and now the windshield is crystal clear. I can believe in myself and in my offer now. So if you're thinking if you should be working with Matthew, I'm going to say, don't think at all. Just do it now. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you for your patience. I'm forever grateful to you.
So, oh my gosh, Matthew, that was like one of the most impactful hours of my career, my entrepreneurial career. Thank you so much, Matthew. That was immensely helpful.
So our converting cost is around $20 per lead. That's what I'm paying at the moment, which is good. My click-through rates, we've got our click-through rates high. It's like 7 to 10% click-through rate. Yeah. We have about 30% of the people who sign up are showing up. We're closing about 10% of those people. What is that? Let me have a look. Yeah, 21,000. We'll break it down. There's only 4 or 5 metrics that I really need to increase. Even just focusing on one of those drastically increases the amount of income that I've got coming in. 600 grand this year.
That's a good ROI. So
yeah,
well done for everything that you've done so far.
And what I've realized is that there'll never be a perfect moment. You need to be this year, it'll be this next year. How easy would it be to make excuses again? And then that's when I said, that's enough. No more excuses. I'm very pleased to say that I've achieved my first goal, which is replacing $100,000 net income. And I'm so excited. I am so proud of being part of this. And the next step for me is 250 grand. Matt's gonna be supporting me with this. I can really focus now. I am so proud, and I really want to make you guys proud as well. If some of you out there are still on the fence, still have not made a commitment or anything like that, that's enough. No more excuses. This is insane. This guy here has so much energy. The reason he has that much energy is because he's coming from the heart. He's coming from a place of service, right? He's serving you guys.
Hey, Matthew, I just wanted to say thank you. I've been doing this a long time, helping people design business models for over 35 years. And I learned a lot from you. I call you a giant genius because you broke it down into very precise, systematic processes that literally anyone can follow. You broke it down so simple that if somebody read the instructions to them and they just did exactly what you laid out, success is inevitable. And that, my friend, is a superpower. And I just wanted to say, I am grateful. I learned a lot. So thank you again, my friend. I recommend anybody listen to him. Like, just do what he says. It's not rocket surgery. He breaks it down into simple processes and methods. And Matthew is skilled, savage at that.
I was feeling very wound tight. I just couldn't put the pieces of the puzzle together. And you're like the puzzle master that came in and you're like, this piece goes here and this piece goes here. And so it's given me a newfound sense of
All
confidence.
right, Nick.
I'm really overthinking.
All right. Welcome, 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 everybody, as we go live and we're streaming all over the place. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're about to jump into a super awesome masterclass. To all you guys that are out there that are joining us in the live stream on here on Zoom, congratulations, welcome. You've spent some energy and effort investing in yourself, and I respect that, and I'm going to give you as much value today as we possibly can. We're going to talk today about how to run a 100K day masterclass and close 8 to 12 clients every 28 days. And we're going to start by talking about the cash flow engine. This is a super important process and part of what we're doing, and this is going to be super fun. Now, for you guys that have jumped in and been VIPs, all my VIPs out there, congratulations. To all the VIPs, congratulations for what you've jumped into. I'm going to share with you some of the stuff that you guys have got access to, so you know, and these are all available in the training portal. So let me just share my screen here quickly as we go through this. Just 1 second here. Get the right screen up. All right. So you guys that have jumped into the VIP, just so you're aware, you have access to a whole lot of training stuff. Right, first of all, we've given you, there's a whole lot of templates, website templates, funnel templates that we've given you for the cash flow engine, what we're talking about today. You have also got a download or a snapshot of all the funnels that we're currently going to be talking about today. You'll see I've got phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. We have built these, they're custom designed. These are funnels that are making millions of dollars right now in virtual events. So you can just go and access these templates as part of this process. Also, we've opened up the new prompt training portal, the prompt guide. You guys have the prompt vault. This is the prompt vault that you guys have got. So if any of you want to jump into the VIP now, it's still available. If I can get Nick, if you can just drop that link in the chat. We're going to be closing this in the next 5 minutes, so it won't be available anymore after this session, after this next 5 minutes. You get all the prompt vault. So let me explain what the prompt vault is. First of all, this is about setting up the entire business system, your business structure. It covers everything from your brand, visual style, your brand voice. There's a lot more coming into this. For instance, we're going to be talking about things like your $1 million promise, which has an instruction guide. And the prompt, there's a prompt that comes with every piece of this, where you'll be able to download and use those prompts on Claude to build all of your infrastructure, all your business components. So everything that we talk about today is going to be here in this prompt vault. So for you guys that want to jump in and get that VIP, now is the chance. You're also going to get, at the end of this session, we're going to be giving you this cash flow calculator, and I'm going to go through. Today we're going to be talking about numbers. Numbers are important. Most people fail in business because they don't know their numbers, or they don't understand the mechanics of the numbers. This cash flow calculator is going to go to you guys at the end. Those of you guys that stick with me through this event today, you're going to get this. And this calculator is going to open up a whole new way of thinking about how you can facilitate your numbers. And also what we've got tomorrow for you guys that are in the VIP, tomorrow we're going to be doing another session. It's an hour session, same time as this, and we're going to be diving into implementation. So I can't cover everything today. Tomorrow we're going to jump in and create some implementation, so you'll be able to build some structure and put things together more succinctly. Today I'm going to go over the overview of what it is that we're doing, the cash flow engine, how you can self-liquidate your event funnels and get into a place where you're making money from your events. All right, we all good? Everyone with me? Yes. See, we're streaming everywhere. We've got a lot of crowd watching us today. We've got people here on Zoom with us. Thank you guys for joining me on Zoom. You guys are amazing. Really looking forward to sharing this journey with you today. So, a couple of things. I've got my coffee. You guys got your coffee? We're ready to go. Cheers to everybody. It's now early in the morning here for me, so we're going to get going. All right, so first of all, what is this? What are we doing here? Why is this thing frozen? Look at God bless technology so early in the morning. uh, why is this doing this? Ah, there we go. Awesome. Okay, all right. This should be, why are we not working here? All right, there we go. Excellent. So what we're going to do is we're going to be working on how to create and run a 100K day masterclass and close 8 to 12 clients every 28 days. This is the formula for self-liquidation. We're going to talk about a fair bit of this, and we're going to dive into the numbers around this. And we're going to do this without one-on-one sales and events that flop or chasing broke audiences. These are key things that I see in the industry that people are struggling with, right? The old outdated method of selling one-to-one, the drag of selling one-to-one. Who likes that, right? Events that flop. I see a lot of people trying to run events and they're not closing, they're not able to make money or profit from their events. And then some of the big reasons for that is oftentimes people are chasing a broke audience. We're going to break through that and work through that today. So who is this for? Now, in order to have success these days, there's a big gap between people that offer $1,000 up to $3,000. There is a big bridging gap, and it's a broken gap, because if your offer isn't high ticket enough in this economy, it's really hard to make money. The ads cost is too high, there's too much competition, so you need to be able to increase the value of your offer, which is what we're also going to talk about today. How do I know this? Because we've studied over 27 different funnel types over the last while, everything from low ticket to membership, cold traffic to application, low ticket to high ticket, everything in between. There is so many different avenues that you can, and so many different funnels. And at the end of the day, the two winners have been a masterclass funnel to a paid strategy session and a lead magnet BSL to a paid strategy session. These are what's working right now. And the offer price has to be above $3,000. Right. Now, specifically, this is for you guys out there that that have understood and realized that one-on-one selling is a trap. I'm going to talk about my story down the track about what this means. Right, the repetition, the chasing the calendars, the grind, the follow-up. Right, the one-on-one selling model for me is a broken model. It's not viable for small businesses to be able to grow rapidly. That's why we do one-to-many selling. Another thing is we want to break through is this is for people that have been running events. You've been trying to do your events. You've been out there doing the thing. You're working your butt off to build this event, and it's just you've got an empty room, you got the wrong audience, or your pitch is not landing. And I get it. So we're going to break through that today. So if you're struggling to run your events and get profit from them, this is for you. And now here's the thing, guys. Coaches and experts, you guys out there, you shouldn't be struggling to close high-ticket clients. Like really, you shouldn't be struggling. So if you stick with me during this masterclass, you won't have to, right? We're going to give you some tools and resources to break through this. Now, one of the key frustrations we have, yeah, Nick, just check the comments there. Nick will get on to that. Who we got there? Dr. D Fitness. Excellent. Awesome. So here's a big frustration, right? Because ultimately all of this comes down to is getting the right people, filling the room with an audience that matters. Now, I did a survey just not so long ago. We're still running the survey. And the survey was, what is your biggest struggle that you're struggling with? Filling the room, offer conversions, closing the room, funnel conversions, audience uncertainty. And 80% of the people said filling the room, which makes sense, because it is ultimately the key ingredient. But there is nuance to all of this. And we're going to talk about all of that as we go through this, right? Because it's not just a matter of filling the room. There is a lot that comes around, that wraps around that. Because here's the thing. there is an abundance of eyeballs. There is so much traffic out there, it is crazy. There is no reason right now that any coach or consultant out there or expert should be struggling to track the right audience, because there's unlimited supply of eyeballs. How do I know this? So we spend millions of dollars on traffic every year, and this is one of my clients, right? She is a beautiful client. You'll see her in my testimonials, Olivera, and she gets $6.54 for registration for her event, and she sells in the health space, and the numbers are crazy. She's got 6.52% click-through rate on her ads at a low cost. So there is no excuse, right, for not being able to get the right audiences into your world. Now, there are three major problems when it comes to filling the room and getting the right audience in place. First of all, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, you're running your funnels, you're building your engines, right, and you're not converting, right? The conversions are low. Your funnel might convert at, say, 5, 6, 7%. I see that as a typical. The average funnel should, if you're running a free event, convert at about 30%. So there's a conversion problem. And in that of itself is a huge problem, because you're wasting money if your conversions aren't up, if your metrics aren't working for you. So we're going to work on what we need to do for that. The next thing, and this is huge, is a cash flow problem. Because we all know and we understand that getting people into your world costs time, energy, money, right? And so when you're putting that effort in to running any business, right, you want to be able to get the ROI out. But when you're running an event and you're doing them consistently, if that engine isn't returning you a certain amount of income back that you can put back into marketing, eventually it's a downward spiral, right? You're burning money, you're losing time, it keeps going worse and worse and worse. So we need to create cash flow so that we can optimize and build the business. If you can get your cash flow up, you're good, right? Then we got this other one. It's a tech puzzle problem, right? I don't know if you guys have experienced this before out there. When you're running and putting the pieces of the puzzles together, there's so many moving parts, there's pixels, there's tracking, there's a top of funnel, there's middle of funnel, there's bottom of funnel, there's emails, there's message sequences, there's all these things that you have to do in your business, and it's like, right, drives you nuts. Who's experienced that? Give me a yes in the chat if you've experienced tech overwhelm, right? The nightmare of putting all the pieces together. Anybody out there struggling with this, or am I the only one that's ever struggled with tech overwhelm? Right? Yes. Awesome, awesome. So here's the thing, guys. When we're going to work through this as well, because this is a huge problem in the industry, right? And guess what? Today, we've got AI to help us. We got AI to help us put all this stuff together. Oh, where am I going now? Whoa. I think it's going to jump ahead of me here. So we're going to talk about AI and how this helps you in this whole process as well, because we want to make things simple, right? Now, I know you guys are out there and you've probably tried just about everything, right? You've bought into coaching programs. You've bought into training. You've watched YouTube channels. You've been buying books, software, tech stacks, AI tools. Like you've probably got a whole stack of tools and stuff that's running around.
Right here, founder at Culture Riff. I know video in your inbox is a bit different.
Can
I
you
have
guys
something
mute your mics
specifically
there? Nick,
for your
make sure
sales
everyone's
team
muted,
that I
please.
think you'll
Thank you. Awesome. Alrighty. And I get it. And look, I've been there, and it's not your fault, right? Because and I know it's not your effort or anything that you're doing out there, right? But you're still feeling stuck. Right? You've put in the effort, you're in a good market, you got traffic, you got funnels, it's not all of that stuff, right? So what's the real problem here? What is the real problem that's causing so much frustration and people to feel stuck right now? Here's the reality of it. It's a systems problem. It's a systems problem. That's the real reality of what we're facing, because what's happening is people have got a piece here, they've got another piece there, they've got another stack there, they've got a YouTube model here, and they've got an ads model there, and nothing fits together. Nothing is driving a process that gets you from A to B. And it causes a lot of frustration for people, right? So what we're looking to create is a simple A to B process that covers the whole system and gets you clarity and is simple, right? So today we're going to be diving into a little bit of numbers. So as you guys, for you, those of you that stick with me, I've developed this cash flow calculator, which helps you to understand the numbers of your event. I'm going to go into this and explain it in a while, but you guys are going to get access to this calendar. And for you guys that are in the VIP, you're going to get all of the tools and the resources and everything that's already around, the AI, the prompt vault, and all the stuff that we've listed in the VIP page. But this calculator is going to everybody. So all of you guys that are out there, we'll be sharing this calculator with you. What this does is it helps to develop your skills and your process to understand what the numbers look like. One of the biggest failings I see with coaches and consultants these days is they don't know their numbers. I speak to so many and I ask them, what's your conversion rates? How you're optimizing to get cash flow? What is the upsell, your cart value look like? And people they don't understand, they don't know. So I've created this calculator to help you. So for those of you that stick with me, you're going to grab this calculator. Nick, make sure we drop that in the end, yeah? So is it okay with you guys? I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to share my story, if that's cool, to help you understand who I am and where this all came about and how I came to be, how this all came to be. First of all, my name is Matthew White. I'm a best-selling author. I have a best-selling book, Living into Self-Esteem, 5 countries. I've generated more than $24.6 million in high-ticket sales over the last, since I've been in business doing coaching and consulting. And I've created more than $5.13 million in recurring revenue for my clients. And I'm the creator of the 100K Day Formula. My expertise is helping people fill the room with premium buyers. I have a black card VIP session that I present and my clients pay me as much as $115,000 for. And that's oopsie. That's my VIP model. It's $115,000. Clients pay for me for a 3-day session to get their events running. We charge that much because we get them 10x the results on that. My clients span all across many countries, from Australia to UK to the US. For instance, Vincent Holthouse, he closed $28,000 in just 7 weeks, starting to work with me, and $680,000 by the end of that year. And he's gone on to he's probably at about $1 million a year at the moment. He's doing incredibly well. Melanie Lavassier, coach, she helps moms with online businesses. She passed 100K in net income, right? And is on her way to 250K in net income, right? After expense income. Melanie Warner, 75K from 10 people, just 10 people in her event. And she went to upsell $144,000 from a single event, working with us and our funnels. Nick, can you just, if it's okay, I'm just going to share some testimonials with you, some of the stuff that people say about us and what we're doing. Nick, can you hit play, please? Can't hear that.
Working with Matthew White and his team has been one of the best experiences that I've had. And what specifically changed and shifted for me was having the mechanics and the confidence behind what was being done, and then just needing to show up talking about the things that I enjoy the most. And what surprised me most about the experience was actually how little I did know about the process of getting people into the room. I thought my biggest problem was not knowing what to sell them, but learning how to actually have people show up and the messaging. So Couldn't recommend him more. He's always been there. He's always been genuine. There's been no information that's ever been held back. He's been there every single time I've needed him, and him and his team have just been fantastic.
I had all this nightmare with the bank stuff, but it's like in 1 month, I'm focusing on look at everything we've done. Literally created an entire new business model, offer, website, masterclass, everything. I could never have done this without you. You guys are amazing, and I trust you. And you know, to say I trust somebody is even more than saying I love you, because I've just been burned by so many people, and it's just I know that this is something that people really want. I just haven't always known the best way to say it, and the marketing part and the messaging is so critical. So I just have such a deep respect for you and what you guys are doing. You just make me feel really safe. So thank you.
I've been working with Matthew and I can feel the huge difference and improvement in my business. It was one of the best business decisions I made. If I can measure, I would say 300%. It moves the needle, not like gradually it goes up this way. Oh, it's been like almost like you're driving with a dirty windshield, and now the windshield is crystal clear. I can believe in myself and in my offer now. So if you're thinking if you should be working with Matthew, I'm going to say, don't think at all. Just do it now. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you for your patience. I'm forever grateful to you.
So, oh my gosh, Matthew, that was like one of the most impactful hours of my career, my entrepreneurial career. Thank you so much, Matthew. That was immensely helpful.
All right, Nick.
Our converting cost is around $20 per lead.
All right, guys. So as you can see, I've worked with a lot of clients. Everyone that is on that reel has made $100,000 or more. Those first few clients that we worked with. The idea is to create your $100,000 day. Guy Bashard, who was in that reel, he did it in 157 days. So he was making money, and then he closed his 100K a day. And I'm very proud of him for doing that. It's all possible with systems. Systems help drive the needle. If you're consistent and you build a complete system, everything comes together and it just works. That's where we're working towards. So not so long ago, I was a construction worker, working in construction, running projects. I was a foreman, supervisor. I was shackled by the golden handcuffs. I don't know if any of you have experienced the golden handcuffs, right? You're doing a great job. You get a pat on the shoulder for doing the thing. You're working hard. You're putting in the effort. You go in day out. Maybe you're first to leave, last to go. I was in that rut, and literally, I have a name. Like if I look at this guy, I call him Bob because that's no longer me, right? There's such a big shift, and maybe you guys have experienced this before, right? If you look back at yourself 5, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like you go like, who is that person? Who's that guy or girl, right? And I literally, there I've written on this thing, Bob. Bob the Builder. And the reality is that I was stuck, imposter syndrome, struggling to figure my way around doing things. And I was like, I hated my job. Even though I was good at it, I didn't want to do it because every day was an argument. Every day was frustration. I had to yell at people. I had to fire people. I had to do all these things. And even though I was good at it, I wanted something better. I wanted to create my own way forward, like have my own business as a coach, consultant, whatever that looked like. And I was struggling for years to figure out what that even meant, right? I don't know if you guys ever done this, gone on the shiny object train, chasing this next idea from affiliate marketing to e-commerce to all these things. And I tried just about everything. And I was killing myself going around in these vicious circles. And then one day I decided I just got to stick with something and figure it out. Like, what are my passions? Where am I going with this? And I decided I wanted to become a high-ticket coach because I'd heard about high-ticket coaching and selling. And I was like, okay, if I'm going to do that, what do I need to do to make that happen, right? Because that's the reality. You got to say, like, if I'm going to have this dream, what do I need to do to make that happen? And so, well, I missed a slide. I started entering this, what I call Entrepreneur University. I don't know if you guys know this, but I call it Entrepreneur University because this is stuff they don't teach you at school, right? You go to class, they teach you math, they teach you geography and history and all this stuff, and you're like, get out of school and you're like, you know, for me, I got ADHD, so I was like in big trouble. So I didn't learn a lot at school. But when I started learning about this entrepreneur university, I was like, oh my gosh, this makes sense. I could actually learn stuff. I can study stuff. And this is how I started my journey. So I started buying and investing in high ticket programs so I could learn what it is and how these all work. Like, what does high ticket mean? And I've studied all of the experts. These are some of my mentors that I've had over the years. And Entrepreneur University was a big shift. And high ticket changed my life. Now, the short version is that I got into this business doing real estate consulting. Now, it didn't happen overnight. There was a journey to get there. But this business has helped me generate more than $20 million in sales. And I was selling high ticket offers from $15,000 to $250,000. These were the average prices that we were working, and even some were even higher. We even have a $1.6 million offer in this process. But I built this business, and I was like, they told me this is how it's going to be. This was the dream. And I bought into that. I bought into this dream of how you've got to set up a VSL, get a lead magnet, you've got to get a VSL going, and you've got to have your calendar, and you've got to get as many people on your calendar as you possibly can. Like, that's the model, right? It sounds good in theory, and you can sell high ticket, and I did. I did many of these. I sold loads of high ticket offers, right? Here's one of my offers. Literally, is an invoice, starts at $15,000. And my calendar, it's a little bit blurry, but like, this is a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like, every single day was just hammered, full, right? Because I got good at this model, and it seemed like a great model. But here's the thing, right? One-on-one selling. Look, here's my Calendly thing. It's a bit blurry, but 460 sales calls in 12 months. I did personally, 460, and it was like 8 years of this. And I was like, something is broken here, because this is what happened to me, right? I invested in the wrong money model, and I ended up getting burnt out. Because the idea of this, right, is if you go and start chasing calendar bookings and you're doing one-on-one selling, you have no freaking life. It becomes a drain. It becomes so monotonous and tiresome that my calendar would start filling up, and I would be like, oh my God, I don't want to do another sales call saying the same thing to people, chasing them, And this is a picture of my partner took this picture, and it's a little bit funny, right? I'm passed out, literally passed out on my desk, tired, because I was just burned, totally burned. And I couldn't go anymore. And so what I did was I heard about this one-to-many selling, right? And I'd been doing some of this stuff back in the past, and I was like, how can I do this myself and create my own one-to-many selling process? And so I took all the stuff that I knew and I put it into a new funnel. This funnel is similar to the funnel that you guys just came into today, for those that are here with me. Then I ran an ads campaign, which was literally $1,000 I spent on ads. Hopefully you can see this. $1,002 exactly, $1,002.18 to be precise. My lead cost was $13 per lead, and I got 74 registrations. And in that event, I closed $317,000. That was a light bulb moment for me from just 27 attendees. That was a huge light bulb moment for me. What that meant was, for me, what I did in 2.5 hours or 3 hours, right, with hanging out with a group of people, would have taken me 60 to 80 hours of follow-ups and one-on-one sales calls. But because I was hanging out with people in a closed environment, it created this rapport, and I was able to close this $317,000 in this short period of time. Think about this for a minute, guys. The amount of energy and effort to sell that amount over one-on-one selling versus one-to-many, it is total game changer, right? And I know that you guys understand the reality of that, because this is where we are today. We have technology, we have systems, and we have processes. If you're still selling one-to-one, I get it. It's painful, but it's an old school model. I think it's a broken model. And so that's allowed me to move forward in doing one-to-many. This changed everything for me and has helped me develop my new system. Now I've got an award for doing $126,000 in a day from a virtual event from Eileen Wilder. This is just recently that we got this. And this was inspirational for Eileen to give this to me because it evidenced our system worked. And we followed the exact process that I'm going to be sharing with you today. Now, I'm obsessed. I'm a little bit of a nerd, guys. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm a little bit nerdy when it comes to the numbers, when it comes to all the stuff around making this stuff work. I've spent more than $420,000 on self-education, more than $1.2 million on advertising. I have made mistakes, $320,000. There was a big mistake where I wanted to go and invest in creating a software. And I dumped $320,000 into the software, and COVID hit. And all of my team, all the engineers, everyone that I was investing in to build the software, everything just changed. I lost that whole package trying to invest in learning about this stuff. Everything I've done about high ticket and investing is about $2 million in trial and error and effort. Now, I don't say that to boast, guys. I say that to impress upon you that you are in the right place. I've got your back. So let's dive into the cash flow engine, right? We're going to talk about how we can create something unique and special. Now, a lot of people are out there talking about virtual events, right? You got workshops, you got webinars, you got masterclasses, you got challenges, you've got launches, you've got all of these things that are models that are being promoted out there. Now, I've studied and researched more than 473 of these high ticket funnels, every funnel that has made over $1 million in sales. And the thing is that you can structure your business or your models in multiple different ways. The one thing that stands true is you need to make profit. You need to make money. And so a lot of people are building these things and they're doing it the wrong way. This here is a model of the exact pages that you need in a funnel to make any event work. There's 11 key components or 11 key touch points that you need to put together to make your event successful, profitable, to create cash flow for your event, right? Let me just see here. Okay. So here's where the problem comes, is that we have all these decision-making processes to do, right? Go right on here. All right. Where's my pens? Oh, lost my pens. All right, we'll leave that for now. So what we've got is we've got all of these different decisions to make. So we've got micro events, single day events, multi-day events. Your first decision, right? Are you going to do a 90-minute webinar, workshop, masterclass? Are you going to do 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours? Are you going to do a single day event? Are you going to do a multi-day event, launch, challenge? What is that first decision that you got to make? Then, this is what blows loads of people out, is that am I going to run a free event or am I going to run a paid event? What's better? What's going to make me the most money? How am I going to do this? What does a paid event look like? What does a free event look like? How do I make cash flow from a free event? Then the big, and this is a huge mechanic to work through, is the closing sequence. Do I do a hard close, soft close, hybrid close? How do I close my people at the end of an event? And so there is all of these decisions that need to be made, and this is where a lot of the overwhelm and confusion comes. So let's see if we can clarify that, because ultimately, cash flow is king. Cash flow is king, right? We've all heard that out there. We want to make money. Cash flow is king, right? So what does that look like? Now, so many people want to jump in the deep end when it comes to making money from their events. What do I mean by that? I just see. What people try and do is they want to go to the top of the pyramid here, where we've got 100K a day, and they want to just build this 100K a day system, right? Or 100K a month system. The problem with that is that if you don't practice and exercise and build your muscles around this, you can't really, it's very hard to do that, right? We have to start from the beginning. We have to build foundations. We have to build layers at the bottom that give you infrastructure, right? So there are things that people get stuck with in the beginning. Usually people haven't closed their first 3 or 5 clients in an event. And usually that is because of things like audience fog, avatar uncertainty, or message distortion. Their message isn't dialed in. And if you've got message distortion or avatar uncertainty, 99% of the time I see people are stuck. They can't break through and make that next move because without clear messaging, you're already in the worst place you can be. And so the very first part we need to work on is message validation. Without message validation, you can't break into any market. The number one game we're playing today, ladies and gentlemen, is the game of stopping the scroll. If you can't stop the scroll, you can't win in this game. It's that simple. So message is everything. That's how you stop the scroll. The next part we need to do is get your offer validated, right? Because offer validation is a key component of the whole engine. If you don't have clear offers that aren't converting, you're going to keep struggling, right? So what does an offer look like that's validated? You've got to build that. Usually when it comes to that, people are stuck with things like credibility, obscurity, authority obscurity. They're often not validated, and they're wondering why they're not making consistent money and growing their business. Then the next part you want to be able to validate is, you know, the no-shows, the pitch cringe, and not closing in your event. And the next layer really is about validating your pitch. Like, what does the pitch sequence, the closing sequence look like? Because here's the thing. I'm going to talk about some of these today. There are 3 closing sequences that you can have in your event when you're building your funnels, your event funnels, your masterclasses, etc. And what type of pitch does that look like? How am I closing it? Do I do a free discovery call? Do I do a paid strategy session? Do I do a deposit close? Do I do a hard close? What does that close sequence look like? And what is my confidence level in that? That's where the biggest money maker is ultimately. And then finally, you want to validate for scale, because what happens is if you get to a certain place in your business and you're not set up for scaling and doing $100,000 days, then you're going to struggle. Your business is going to burn you out. And that's a reality of it. So you want to get your systems in check and get everything working. This is the flow. I call this the 100K day accelerator pyramid, because this is the exact process you have to take to get from where you are now to mastery in your events. So when you get this right, like Amy Belcher here, messaging is everything, right? So you see Amy Belcher here, right? So we test everything. You can see the reality of this, right? If you're not testing and validating, you're struggling to grow your business. You're gonna get stuck. You're gonna get stuck in the noise. You're gonna get stuck trying to show up in front of your people. All right. Here's a test that we ran for one of our clients, right? And you can see her event. One message. The only difference between these 2 pages is the headline. The only difference between these 2 pages was the headline. Look at the difference, right? 23% versus 40.1%. Message matters. Message is probably one of your most important criteria for everything that we do. What that does when you get your message right, high click-through rates, low cost to get people in your room. That's one I did with Vincent. Right, you'll see huge difference. The only difference between these 2 pages was a headline. 11% conversion, 20% conversion. This was in the early days when we were testing. Huge difference. You guys with me? So message is everything. This is Guy Bashard. This is when he did his $100,000 day, and he sent me this message. I just landed my first 100K client, $30,000 non-refundable deposit. So I'd like to know, freaking amazing, dude. Thank you, buddy. everything you've done to help me get there. I'm very proud of him for being able to do that $100,000 a day. He's gone on to do more since then. But let's talk about this, right? Here we are. Where am I? Them pens are. All right. Usually have my pens here with me. I've kind of lost them this morning. All right. So what we're going to do is look at the structure of our events, right? Just bear with me 1 second, guys. I'll find these. Oh, well. Yes, we're doing it old school way. All right. So here's the thing, right? So when we talk about the first layer of doing events, everybody has, if any of you have ever run an event before, you know that the very first important component is trying to understand your audience, getting your message dialed in. Because if you don't get your message dialed in, you're always going to be stuck trying to figure out what people want. And what's the most easiest way to find out what people want? What's the most easiest way to find out what people want? You ask them. You ask people what they want. So on the bottom phase of getting your first clients or building your first engine, you need to create a system of asking people what they want. So what do I mean by that? First of all, you're going to create a ticket page. Now, a ticket page in and of itself has the most weight, because if it's not designed properly, if your branding is not on point, and if the words that you have on your landing page don't match what people want, you're going to struggle. So the first part of this is building a ticket page or a landing page, your event page, that attracts the right audience, right? So it's set up the right way. The next thing you want to do is we're going to create an ask campaign or an ask system. This is a survey form or a survey system that asks people a series of questions, and they give you the answers. They tell you what they want. They tell you what they're struggling with. Now, every time any one of our clients has run these, they are blown away by the amount of people that fill in this form, number one, and by the data that they collect, because it now gives pretty much it gives certainty on the direction that they're going to go. You take that data, you then collate it, and you put it into a meaningful movement moving forward. You iterate, right? And we're going to talk about, when we talk about the numbers, we're going to talk about the bribe. Now you give people a bribe to show up, and this changes the numbers a little bit. Now your first funnel, you don't want to ever change this registration page. It's always going to be the same, right? But what you do after the registration page matters, because it changes. There's a structure that changes. You also need to have a community or some kind of group that you can send people to, because this helps to create rapport, and you can stream and do all kinds of stuff in your community. And then you need some cash flow maximizers in the process, right? All of these things play a role in getting your first message, your first event running, and getting clear on your message. Now, in this first session, we have what I call an expert close. And an expert close is about finding out what people want and giving them something of small value that you can sell them on in this section. Now, this is a 28-day cycle. So you sell in this 28-day cycle, getting some confidence in your offer. Usually we're selling a mini offer of about $1,000 here, right? The idea of that is to get a feedback loop happening so that you can iterate fast, right? The faster you can iterate, the faster you can go to the next level. So you run a 28-day cycle on this. This is going to get you your first 1 to 3 clients, right? Your ROI is low on this, but you've got to expect that when you're starting out, you're going to have a starting number working for you, right? Then we go to cash flow engine number 2. This is next phase. Here you're still running a free event, but there's things that are going to change in the front with your advertising, but at the back, your registration page stays the same. But what you're doing now is adding a paid upsell, a paid VIP upsell, right? This comes in many different forms. For instance, on my VIP page today, you can see that we have a free with a subscription, but there's multiple different ways that I teach on how to create this. It is super important. This is where your money is going to be made. This is where you're going to start really growing your business and creating a purchase pixel event. Because when you're running ads, and I don't want to dive into the minutiae of this, but the most valuable thing you can have in your business is a warmed up purchase pixel where people are paying you and you start attracting buyers and not freebie seekers. Biggest mistake in the industry that I see right now is people optimizing for leads and registrations or completed registrations. That is going to send you broke very fast. What you want to optimize for is purchases. When you can optimize for purchases, the whole game changes. You start attracting a very qualified audience into your world. So this next funnel step is a free, maybe $1, but you're going to have a bump and a VIP upsell. Now I have clients that do $1 VIP upsells all the way up to $97 VIP upsells. The numbers will be different for your confidence level and what you're trying to accomplish for your business. But the bumps are important because they add value to the upsell process and your cart value. And there's a pricing mechanism for each of these components. Then at this level, you're moving up to we're going to do a free strategy call, right? Now we have a strategy call process. It's like an auditing system where we stop selling to people and we start onboarding people. There is no more one-to-one selling. Now you're going to get people on your calendar, but they're already going to be ready to close because of how we strategize this mechanism. You're going to practice doing this audit session for free for a few rounds before we go into a paid strategy close. The paid strategy close changes everything. In this model, you're building a testimonial reel. You're getting some testimonials, feedback's happening. So people, as soon as you start getting cool testimonials, conversions improve. You get better rapport. You get better credibility. So that model is bringing your offer up to about $3,000, right? We want to start selling $3,000 or more in your offers. You'll see your ROI start increasing. You start getting a 2x, 5x return. This assumes your high ticket sales and everything. Then we're going to go to cash flow engine number 4. Now, everything still stays the same in the front end. Nothing really changes. You're improving your ads a bit. You've got your purchase pixel dialed in, and you're now adding cart value. Sorry. So in this level here, we're bringing in a paid event. You're going to start charging for your events. Why? Because if you have a free event, a lot of people are going to be showing up as tire kickers. Now you can still keep this free. There is a model for keeping this free and just having your upsells happening. However, when you go to a paid event, everything changes. This is exactly how we got this award, right? We do free events because I'm going through a strategy of showing the numbers. But when you do a paid event, people show up, you've got a better audience, and you're going to have much more qualified outcomes, and your conversions are going to be much higher. So in this next stage, we're adding another bump, right? And the bump comes into your paid registration page. Then we got a VIP upsell, which is usually $97. And what we have here is a one-click system. So they fill in their details here, give their credit card details, and the only thing they have to do here is click, and they get this added to it. But now, this is a magical thing that is a secret in the industry, and a lot of people are still getting their head around this, but this is crazy. I talk about paid strategy close. One of the biggest mistakes I see in the industry is doing free calls, right? So they teach you run your event, your high ticket event, and then you get people on a free discovery call, right? And you try and sell them on the free call. The problem with that is that you are attracting a lot of tire kickers. You're getting a lot of people wasting your time. 80% of the people on a free discovery call are we're probably never going to buy. Even if you're good at selling and you got 20% of those sales, you're wasting 80% of your time with people that are not going to buy. If somebody is not prepared to spend at least $200 with you up front, they are never going to spend $5,000 or $10,000. Never. So what we do is we include a paid strategy audit session. And I have a system around this. But some people just want to go fast, right? They just want to go, right, I just want to do the thing. I don't want to spend time in your event. I want to get on your calendar. Let's do the thing, right? They get it. So we give them the option for this at $299. They can book a strategy session. This increases your cart value, but what most important it does is it gets people into your world who want to spend time with you, buy stuff from you straight away. There is no selling then. There is no selling. You're doing an audit session with them or a strategy session with them and a breakthrough. And the next logical move for them is to work with you on your high ticket offer. This bridging mechanism from event to high ticket offer is one of the biggest ROI movers you can put into your business. Paid strategy calls are a game changer. I don't know why more people aren't doing this, but I can tell you that it shifts the needle, and you go from making struggling to sell and running freebie seekers through your strategy calls to getting qualified people in your world, increasing your cart value, and you're getting your high ticket offer sold so much quicker. All right. Just by the way, as you're doing this, you're increasing your ROI incrementally, right? As you're adding these layers, you start making more and more money, right? And all the cash flow stuff that you're doing is taking the cash flow from your events engine, and you can funnel it back in, right? And when you can put it back into advertising, then you can, that's with the perfect business, right? $1 in, $1 out, you're getting free registrations in your event, boom, you're winning already, right? So the next layer is doing that. And finally, the last layer is really just deciding on whether you're going to do single day or multi-day. So I don't know if you guys ever heard the equation, immersion equals conversion. A lot of my clients, when they get to this level, go from doing single day to multi-day challenges. Multi-day challenges are very, very lucrative, but in some industries, a challenge doesn't work. So it's deciding what that looks like for you. But you're increasing the price for entry, right? And then your immersion equals conversion. Yes, Nick, thank you. You're increasing your ticket price, $47.97. You're going to get much more qualified leads. You're going to increase your cart value. Your strategy session goes from $299 to $997, $1,000, or you can go into a deposit close, which means you're just going to close on your high ticket offer in your event. But this, when you start charging $1,000 for the onboarding session, everything changes, right? People are already paying you money, a high level, they're going to work with you. There's no doubt. So the conversions on a $25K offer shoot up dramatically. This is how you do $100,000 days, $25,000 offers, doing this strategy. It's very powerful. Exactly how I got this award, doing this model, right? So this is actually the exact model that I did for that award. And it works really, really, really well. So what are you guys going to do now is you're going to look at your numbers, the ROI. So let's dive into numbers here. And we talk about this because this is super, super, super important. So you can see how this all plays out, because numbers are everything, right? If you don't know your numbers, I can't tell you how many times I repeat the same thing. The numbers are sanity. Profit is sanity, right? If you aren't sure about your numbers, you're not making money, you're going to struggle always, right? So let's look at this. So this is a cash flow calculator. We'll talk first of all about free events, right? Free events. What do they mean? A free event is usually the lowest return on revenue, right? If you ran a free event, you see you're barely going to break even on your yearly income. It's a broken model. So if you just had a free event and a thank you page, it's hard to make money, right? The next layer up is adding what do we call a bribe or a bonus, right? So if you're running $1,000 and you're getting an average of $10 per registration, which is our average registration cost for our clients, and you're running an event every 4 weeks, one event a week, your numbers are dismal. It's really, really hard to drive business. So now you go add a bribe. That's a bit high. It's usually about 50%. Around about 50% of people show up when you add a bribe. So what does that do? This is that one shift on your thank you page, adding a bribe to your event. It nearly doubles your return on revenue. Just one shift. But when you go to a paid upgrade, right, 85% of those people start showing up. Now you can start making real money. Now that's the power of getting a paid VIP upgrade. So it's a free event, right? Free event, and you've added a $27 VIP upgrade. If you add $97, and you have probably even a less here, probably about 10% uptake, you're nearly 200 grand on a year on doing just that model, right? So that's the power of adding your paid upgrade. I say to people, if you're not doing a paid VIP upgrade, you're doing yourself a huge disservice because it increases your conversions, it gets people into your world, and it's much easier to sell everything. Then we go to the next level, which is paid events. Right? And even if you did a $27 event, you're going to have at least 80% of the people showing up on your event, right? At least. You obviously got to increase your ad spend because it's going to cost you more. But you can, this is when you start running $1 million a year business. It's just the power of numbers, right? 1.3 million a year by adding a paid event. But you're going to spend more money on it because it's cost you a lot more to get. Actually, it's probably about $50. So I might change the numbers. Yeah, you're going to spend about $50 on a registration. I think that's going to affect the numbers. Yeah. So sorry. There's going to be about 400 grand a year on this model. Now, all you have to do to increase that is add more money onto your budget, right? And you start getting more people in your world. This is important when you start adding bumps and upgrades into this. Your revenue model starts going up and up and up. All of these are key important parts. Does that make sense to you guys? So the numbers are everything, and adding more cart value to your cart is super important to building a $1 million business. And it's just about understanding the mechanics of adding the little pieces to the puzzle. So come back here to the there we go. Yeah. All right. So those are the 4 funnels that you work on to build your business, right? You create your ticket page, your front landing page, and that stays solid. You improve on that. Now, when we're starting, the numbers of your landing page, your ticket page, need to convert at 30%. When you can convert your ticket page on a free event at 30%, the confidence to shoot up to the next level is easier. You now know that you've got numbers working for you. And how you do that is follow the process, the system, right? Let's see what we got going on here. So, right. So here's the thing, right? We just covered the cash flow engines. These are the mechanics, the core component that drives. It's the heart of your business. If you don't have a funnel that's working for you, it becomes really hard to drive your business. Your funnel is everything. Now, there are people that tell you you can run a business without a funnel. Of course you can. It's harder. You do one-to-one selling. You can do all those things. But if you want to go pro and run a business that's successful, you need a quality funnel, machine, an engine that can drive the business for you. And a lot of people struggle with that. Number one, first of all, they don't have the infrastructure or the templates to do that. So that's why I've given you guys all the VIPs. You got access to our 4 phases. So I showed you that before. So if I just share my screen here quickly. This is a starting point, right? This is where it all comes to be. So you'll see we have phase 1 funnel, phase 2 funnel, phase 3, and phase 4. These funnels are already designed. You just have to go and pre-populate them, and then they're good to go, right? Following the exact same mechanism that I just showed you, already pre-designed. So, but there's a bigger picture to all of this, right? Because that's just a small piece of the puzzle. There are 3 layers that cause most coaches and experts to get stuck, really. If we zoom out a bit, if we zoomed a little bit out away from just the funnel, and we looked at this from an overall perspective, there are 3 things that really people get stuck with. The first big thing is really there's an offer problem, right? A lot of people struggle with their offers. Their offers are not converting, they're not connecting with the audience, they don't have messaging that's dialed in, and so they're struggling to really break through into a market. The next thing is a money model problem. Their business is leaking. They're throwing money into a leaky bucket and calling it a business. Money is draining out. The more they put into it, the less they're getting out of it. And it's a huge problem. And finally, there's a client or a client acquisition problem, right? Like it's empty rooms, you know, not converting, like getting the right people in front of you and your audiences over and over again. These are huge problems that are causing people to get stuck. And that's why, well, that's why. So I just want to ask you guys, first of all, here's a question, right? Can you guys see how the cash flow engine would change everything for you? Just having a funnel that's working for you would change everything, right? What we got here? Awesome. So I want to ask you guys, like, can you see that the cash flow engine can change the game for you? Like just having that one piece is super important, right? Drop a yes in the chat if you know that just having a funnel designed, working for you, an event funnel that's specifically for high-ticket masterclasses would change the game for you. Yes. Yes. Amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And here's the thing, right? Because there's more. Just want to go. So here's a full complete system. This is called the 100K day formula. And today, in this session, I've talked about the cash flow engine, right? Which is one piece of the puzzle. And we zoom out a bit, this is a complete system. The offer, money, and clients. This is a masterclass formula that closes 8 to 12 new clients every 28 days without one-on-one selling or events that don't convert. Let's dive into this. So first of all, we talk about message, right? Message is the most important component. And a lot of people are out there trying to sell vitamins. They're trying to sell, their message is confusing, it's distorted, and it's not breaking through. It's not stopping the scroll, because if you can't stop the scroll, you're not going to win in this game. And so I have a $1 million story builder. Now, the $1 million story builder is a vital component to building your business, because if you don't have this $1 million story system, you're going to struggle, right? And it's about having the right message and the right brand story that helps you to stand out from the crowd, to take your message and create something magical and desirable that people want. When you do that, everything downstream shifts. You now get to stand out in the crowd, stop the scroll, your cost for acquiring a client drops, and everything becomes better. So in our system that I've shown you guys before, which a lot of you might already have, if you look at our training portal here, you'll see for you guys that are in the VIPs, you're going to start building your $1 million promise, right? These are prompts that you'll drop into Claude, and it's going to help you design your message, clear message. And so there's instruction. You open it, tells you what that is, what's the instruction for it, and then you drop, if you download, obviously if you click download, you can download the prompt, and you just drop it into your Claude, and it'll go through a process of helping you create your message and your story, right? So if we go back, the next thing is step number 2 is creating a system design. Now, we've got a big problem out there in the industry right now, and everything is changing. Loads of people are coming out of their jobs now to become coaches and consultants, and there's competition. The competition has never been higher. Now, it's a good thing in one way, but it's a bad thing in another way. The bad thing is you need to figure out how to stand out. The good thing is it opens up a lot more opportunity for all of us to make more money. So how do you stand out? You have a clear and compelling system. Like I have the 100K day formula. It's unique. It's a model designed around me. And what happens is all of my content and my whole world comes from that system. If you don't have a clear system built for showing up in the world, you're not going to be able to stand out. So we have a magic formula process. So in a prompt guide, you can build your magic formula, right? It's helping you create a system. This is a foundational piece to building your business. You start building a system for business that looks something like this, right? 3 pillars, 9 steps. It's nice and clear, easy to digest. This is how you stand out as a category king or queen, right? Stand out in the industry. You become unique and special. It's the unique mechanism that you create. Next, you need an offer. You need an offer system that drives results, right? That gets you from where you are now to making money. And the offer mechanisms are different in different industries, but this is a formula that I use to create what we call enrollment documents. And in our system here, this is our offer document system, our offer system, right? When you create an offer, right, same thing, you get Claude to help you build your offer. You build your scorecard. This is where all your content's going to come from, and then an enrollment doc. Sorry, you first build your business model, you build a scorecard, and then you build this enrollment document. This is your offer document following the system designed to create high-ticket offers, right? Very, very powerful model whereby there are 3 levels that you operate in, right? These are ascension levels. And there are multiple pieces that I put into an offer that adds huge value to it. But when you're presenting an offer, you need to have an ascension model. If you don't have an ascension model, people get lost in the minutia. Now you need an entry-level model, right? An entry-level price point. You need a next level price point, which is like your acceleration. And then you need a level 3, which is proximity, working with you one-on-one or in a mastermind, right? So these ascension levels are very important in an offer. Understanding them and knowing how to put them in place is vital. Now, step number 6, no, sorry, that is step number 4, is the closing sequence. Now, there is I'm going through the exact process of doing an event structure that makes sense, right? There is event structure, right? How you present in an event. This is our model, right? And our AI builds this whole framework for you. And down the track, we also do slides. There's a slide deck component coming very shortly. So you create these HTML slides that are going to be awesome. But this is a flow of a masterclass, right? Now, a lot of people are not closing in their masterclasses. They got this whole thing going on. And the problem is that there's no flow, there's no sequence. But when it comes to presentation, here's the thing. It's not so much the presentation that is going to make you money, right? Because the presentation is cool. You see all these pictures, you see me talking about stuff, and I'm adding value. You're learning something. Here's the magic of a presentation. It's the closing sequence. It's the closing pitch. Now, a lot of this might happen in the event, but guess what? 60% of your revenue is going to happen after the event because people are not sure. They're trying to figure things out. They need to be nudged. And so when you have this mechanism working for you, right, where you can close and you have a clear closing sequence with a paid strategy session or an audit session or an enrollment close, this is where the magic happens. So you're now driving people. So your enrollment document now becomes important. And your closing sequence becomes important. And the amount of time you spend with people will also become important. 2 hours, 4 hours, and multi-day. They become a component that you can design into your masterclass. Now, same again, you guys have got the prompt vault. As we're developing this, we're bringing new prompts into this and AI systems to develop so that you can have all of the stuff created just with one click of a button so that it develops this whole thing for you. We talked today about the cash flow engine, so I'm not going to dive into that. But here's the next part, and I talked about the leaky bucket, right? 60% of your revenue from any business, any event, anything that you do comes from the follow-up, the back end. And I see fundamentally this is one of the biggest places where people struggle. They don't know how to create automations or set up a system to bring in the revenue at the back end. And so what they're doing is maybe they're making some sales in the front end. Maybe they're getting some clients on board. But when it comes to the follow-up process, they're struggling. So what we've designed is a back-end system, an automation system, which allows for you to have a flow, a sequence that manages your whole event structure, your masterclass infrastructure. So what do I mean by that? First of all, it's a system of cash flow, right? The cash flow maximizers, knowing all your bumps. The system is designed to give you all the pieces that create higher cart value in your funnel, right? So we've got workbooks, we've got VIP groups, all the Zoom gates and all the stuff that happens around the process, right? To make this work. Oopsie. Then we've got your event day hype. There's a sequence that happens when you got your event day of messages, SMSs, emails, etc., to get people onto into your events. But here's the magic, right? After your event, you got two sequences that are super important, and this is where a lot of people seem to mess up. You got attendees and you got non-attendees. Now, how do you know whether you got attendees or non-attendees? All of you guys came through what I call a Zoom gate. And that Zoom gate is a way for you to track who comes in to your world and how you're going to manage them, because there's two different conversations you're having to attendees and non-attendees. Somebody that's registered and doesn't attend but then watches your replay is now in a different category as well. But if somebody have registered, they don't attend and they don't do anything, guess what? You now got to put them into a sequence, right? An automation sequence that keeps iterating them through your events, because you're going to have multiple, you're going to keep running events, right? And so somebody that's come into your world but has not attended, and it's because they're busy or whatever they're doing, guess what? 2 months down the track, they're going to become a client. I have people that come to me and they've been in my world for like 4, 5, 6 months before they do business with me. Number one, they just wanted to see from a distance. Number two, they show up at 1 or 2 events. Number three, then eventually they're like, okay, I'm all in. And they're like spending 30, 50, 100 grand with me. And it's like, this is where the money's made, in your back end system. And it pulls out the hidden money. And there's a sequence for it. There's a specific flow that has to happen. You have a countdown, you have motivation. Like people that have been to your events, they're going to be a different discussion to people that haven't been to your events. This is where the hidden money is untapped, right? This is how you make more money in your business and you can get those $1 million years happening. Then the last pillar, right? This is your client's pillar. So just let me recap. So we just covered the money pillar. Now we're going to go into the client's pillar, right? The client's pillar is really one of my favorite because this is where the magic happens, right? And I don't know if you guys have been in this game for a while, but you know that we've got this content overwhelm dilemma. And creating content, your emails, your copy, your scripts, your video scripts, your social media, all of the stuff that needs to be designed and created and built, and you need to create this flywheel, it becomes really overwhelming. And I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but I know, seeing this in my business, it's like, you've got to do content today, you've got to do more posts, you've got to go and take photos, do videos, blah, 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 all these things. And so what we designed is a content engine. So I have a very clear infrastructure, and this is AI powered. I'll show you what this, it's coming very soon. We're actually building this at the moment. You guys who have jumped into VIP are going to get access to this in the next few days. It's down here. So we're building out, this is the content, the Goliath content engine is coming. It's just about ready to go. Our developers are busy working on that right now. And you're going to be able to, I've got mine is already set up and designed. I wanted to show you guys. It's running on Claude. It's crazy powerful. This is the framework that we use to create the structure of the content so that Claude knows how to pull and create different types of content. And I have what I call a score. This is my score system. This is a copy, and it's a psychological copy flow, right? It's a 5-act system that we've programmed for Claude and all of our prompts so that everything creates in a specific structure. So there's serendipity, connection, opportunity, reality, and execution. This follows a complete copy dynamic so that you can, all of your content and copy comes out in a very clear and consistent manner. And we have all these different mechanisms to create the different hooks and angles for all the content. Pain and obstacles, curiosity, pattern interrupt, your tangibles, intangibles, myth busting, symbolism, authority, consequence, lessons learned, research, demonstration. So all of these compact and create all of these different, hundreds and hundreds of different styles of content. And we bring character and story and a journey into this as well. So your whole discovery story and everything that you've done gets all merged into this AI, and it just pumps out content, right? And so you can have social media, group posting, emails, messenger, it doesn't matter. All of your content comes out of this, and it's content at scale. Super, super powerful. The next thing that we need to do is, I love this, is your audience, right? We all understand we need a big audience. And posting on social every day is mind-numbing. Plus, you've got to have people doing all the stuff, and you've got to edit videos, and you've got to do all this stuff. And so when I started my consulting business in real estate, I used to do that a lot. I used to go and post every day. Every morning I'd go on social media and post a video. Then I'd do another image or something in the afternoon. I was really tiresome doing that amongst all the other stuff that I had going. And one day I was like, at this point, my lead cost, right? Let me explain this to you. My cost to acquire a client was around about $5,000 for a high-ticket client, which was okay. We still made a bit of money, but it wasn't as profitable as what I wanted to be. And I was trying to post on social and do all these things, and I was like, so frustrated. And so one day somebody told me, a mentor of mine said, hey, why don't you put money behind your social media and amplify it that way? And I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? So I started putting a bit of money behind my social media, and I created these top of funnel and nurture campaign sequences, right? And I only put like $5 or $10 a day into this around my advertising. And something blew my mind that happened. And it was, to this day, it still works. And I'm like, I can't believe how this all works. My cost for acquiring a client went from $5,000 to $896 to get a closed client. That's the power of what this did. By adding just $5 to $10 a day into this top of funnel and nurture sequences. Now this is how you this is how you set up your campaigns for this. What this does is it creates a circle of influence that you control. So when you go and post organically, Facebook's sending your post out to this crowd one day, and then next day you posting it out to this crowd, and it's kind of doing these things and trying to build your audience, but you're not creating control. It's like just random stuff. Whereas this creates control. You have you create a circle of influence and build your hungry audience, and it grows rapidly. What does that look like? I'll show you my campaigns that I'm doing at the moment, and these are. Bear with me one second. So if we look at, I do that even now today. It's crazy powerful, the amount of edge you have when you do this. Lead costs go right down. So you'll see I have, these are my Masterclass ads at the top. Now I've got a nurture campaign. I've got a top of funnel awareness video campaign. All of this working together gets really, really low cost for leads. And this is how you run a powerful ad campaign. Now this platform that I'm just showing you now is AI powered. So you guys that I'm about to show you this, you'll be able to jump into this if you're interested. You can create all of your ads, AI ads. There's a whole powerful mechanism around here to creating ads, super effective ads. I have an ad system, but you can run a dashboard that's not overwhelming. And this is like having an agency at like nearly zero cost. Like it's so affordable to run all your ads. You can connect with Google, TikTok, LinkedIn. I currently run on LinkedIn, Google, and Meta. And it's really, really easy way to create and run advertising. And I'll show you guys a bit more about that in a second. Because you do not want to run ads. Like here's the problem, right? You get an agency to run your ads, you're going to go broke. Why? Especially if you're a small business, because you don't have the budget yet to have an agency running your ads. And they're not going to spend as much time on you, with you, to make the right decisions that are going to impact and grow your business rapidly. You need a bigger budget for that. And so what AI does is it now removes the need for an agency. So the AI can make decisions or help you make decisions on your advertising that becomes super powerful. That brings me into this next section. So the social media advertising plus this Dragonfire ads, because he has a big problem, right? Ads can be confusing and expensive. And I ran an experiment this week running the system. And you know how people are telling you you gotta have 1,000, you gotta have hundreds of different ads, you gotta create all these different creatives, and you gotta do all of these crazy things. Well, this week I ran a test on an event, and I've got one ad, one image ad, mind you, and we've got a fair audience here that's shown up, and we got hundreds of registrations, because you don't need to do hundreds of ads. What you need to do is have clear messaging. When you have clear messaging, the ads, everything changes. And so while all my peers out there are burning money, it's expensive for them to get registrations or build a list. We're using the AI model and this structure of building your ads to amplify and get registrations and attract an audience on demand. Now, guys, I'm going to iterate this to you again. The money is not made always in the event, right? It's great to have sales and make sales in an event. It's incredible. But most of your money is going to be made after the event. That's why those sequences are important. You're going to call people up. You're going to have them come to your business. They've seen you, been in your event. So you talk to them. You have that ongoing conversation. But having a low-cost way to attract and build a list is super important. And the only way to scale these days is through ads. If you're still stuck on the organic social posting hamster wheel, trying to do all this organic stuff, it leaves you in a place of always clamoring, trying to stand out and figure out how you're going to get people in your world. But when you run ads, everything becomes so much easier. And people are afraid of running ads because they don't know. And that's why I have this AI system, which we're bringing into the mix to help you create all this. So let me show you what that looks like. I'll just give you an example. This is only a test that I've been running this week for this event. And I'll show you. I've literally got, it's probably about 10 US dollars a lead for the registration. So this is one of ours has got 36, but here's the magic, right? I've only literally got one image. I'm going to show you this. This is the only image that I have, and I've driven this whole event on one single ad, one ad. And we got high click-through rates and low cost. Now, if I add more to it, it's going to be better, but I just wanted to run this as an experiment to see what it would look like. But here's why the magic is happening. You see, you turn on this little button here, and the AI optimizes your campaigns, your audiences, right? So it's marginalizing my audiences, my creatives. It's learning around the copy and what's working. So this is why I'm able to do this, is because the AI is managing the process. But what's really cool is I can come here to this creative bank and I can drop a whole lot of ads, which I've already done. And the AI will start utilizing that and start testing it in your infrastructure. So you can add images, videos, and copy. What that means is that for months, like you literally don't even have to touch your ad campaigns because the AI is your agency. It's managing all your ads for you incrementally. Now it's not showing my images because I've only got one image, and maybe it will if I change the date. See if it brings it up. No. Oh yeah, there we go. So one single ad saying it's best and worst, but you'll see my conversions, click-through rates are above 4%, so doing really well. Let me go over the all time, which is probably a week now that I've been running this. You can see there. So my conversions, click-through rates are really high because the AI is managing and monitoring this, so super powerful. All right. All of this cool stuff with AI, guys, is just a game changer. But here's the thing. If you're trying to do stuff and you're just randomly trying to put pieces together, what it does is it just confuses things. You get overwhelmed. You get stuck in the minutia. You're trying to figure out stuff that doesn't fit together. Whereas if you have a complete system designed that works together like a glove, that's when everything happens. Everything comes together in the right way. So if it's okay, I'd like to share with you guys, where are we going with this? How I serve people and how we help people. Now I've got everything that I do now is AI powered. We have an AI infrastructure around everything. But what I've displayed here is demonstrating the frameworks, right? Because the frameworks are important. You need to know how the pieces work. The context of this is important. And so there are three key metrics, right? With the offer, making money, and getting clients. This is everything that you could ever possibly need to run a successful, profitable business. And so you've seen my testimonials, you've seen all the stuff that we help, and I've got two layers that I help people with. The first layer is people want to do this all themselves. I know there's it's more affordable if you want to do it yourself. You can put all the infrastructure together. We got all the prompts, we got all the infrastructure, the SOPs, and we built an entire system, a closed system that does everything for creating your high-ticket masterclasses. That includes automations, it includes funnels, it includes design, and even now for you guys that are jumping in, I'll share this one last bit. This event that we're doing right now is run by this model here, right? So you guys would have seen my landing page. Everything has changed. So we now I create everything via AI. So even though you have those templates coming your way, you also now have access to our new system, which is creating all your funnels and everything using AI. I literally built this funnel without typing a single word. I literally spoke it into existence. I had to create some of the images and drop the images in and that, but I just spoke this into existence. I copied one of my templates and boom, I was able to do this in literally probably an hour to put all of this stuff together. And it works really well. The conversions are high and it's now become really easy to do. So this also is part of the system that we've got. So for you guys that are on VIP, I have given you the template to go ahead and start building your own infrastructure. And I'm going to have training and everything that goes around this. So you can build your funnels, very good looking funnels for super, super fast, right? You just have to prompt it and boom, you can go in there. And if you wanted to edit in each piece individually, you just click this button down here and it goes into this dev mode and okay, do its thing. And you can click on pieces and you can literally edit them in here, changing stuff out. So it becomes an editor as well. Or you can just speak and tell it what you want it to do and it'll build your stuff. So you guys, VIP, you already have access to this. If you don't, just email me and I'll drop this into your thing. But for you guys that want to jump in and do the rest, go all in, we have this system, right? And it's called the accelerator. So I have a you do it yourself model and I have a done for you model where we'll build everything for you. Your whole infrastructure, your event engine, your ads, your copy, your scripts, everything. Which is very similar to this model here, except here you can do all of this yourself. It's the exact same system, right? And it's $697 a month. If you wanted to do monthly, you can test this out and you can upgrade as you go through this. VIPs, you can just upgrade directly if you wanted to. You don't have to go through this form. But for you guys, if you wanted to jump in, I've got a discount here of $497, right, a month if you take the yearly. And it includes everything that I've just shown you, plus all the latest updates and all the new tech and tools that we're bringing out to build successful masterclasses. And it includes the entire system. The offer matrix, the money magnet, the client flywheel. Includes all of your tools, your AI, your ads, the whole lot. All of the rapid cash flow plans, so the 4 layers that I talked to you about, we go through those 4 layers, the 4 phases, and get you to your 100K day. It takes about 112 days to get there, following this cash flow, rapid cash flow plans, using this system to put it all together. Then we've got fill the room sprints. There's weekly consulting, fill the room sprints, and client conversion sprints. So the biggest frustration I see people having in the industry is people not filling their room and getting confused and frustrated about how to run and put their ads together. And there's a lot of decision-making process that happens. So in the sprints, we help people with ads, getting their events filled and not wasting money, making the wrong decisions. And then client conversion sprints, which is all about your automations, getting the conversions happening back in sales, your paid strategy sessions, all that kind of stuff. So it gives you the whole free Coach Launch CRM for free for a whole year. 365 days is included in this. Then afterwards, it's $297. And the Dragonfire ads, which is that AI ads platform, is included for 30 days But if you guys, for whoever takes action today, I'm going to include an extra 60 days of free access to that Dragonfire Ads AI platform, which is next level stuff. Like if you ever wanted to run ads and get rid of an agency and just get the AI to do this for you, we've got all of these components in here that just makes running ads super easy. You can set up your ads very easy. There's AI that you can set up infrastructure in this. And literally in less than a week, you'll be running profitable ads if you follow the system. So it's currently 30 days free for most people. But if you guys, for those guys that jump in today, I'll add an extra 60 days for free. It's $197 a month for this platform. After going forward, we're increasing the price. And after the year, this is $297 to access all of the stuff. Now, I've got a guarantee. You get your first 3 clients, 100% guaranteed, right? In the next 10 sprints, join us in the 10 sprints, follow the system. And if you don't close your first 3 high-ticket clients, you can get your money back. We'll back the results completely. You've seen all my client testimonials. Everyone that works with me has been doing really, really well in this industry. Guy, all these guys have made more than 100 grand working with me. And this is where the system starts. So if you wanted to jump in and get going, straight away, you can jump in, you get the monthly or the yearly. You decide on where you want to go. And it gives you all of the systems, everything you could possibly need. Now, if you wanted to work with me one-on-one, and we build this all for you, that's a different model altogether. You can jump in on my calendar, but I have very limited spots, and I'm going to be limiting this to only a few people because we've only got 3 spots left for the done for you model. But if you wanted to do this all yourself, we've got all the tools, the resources, everything you need to run a profitable, high-ticket event, all with AI. So we're making it really easy for you to do your scripts, your prompts, your scripts, your copy, your landing pages, everything. In like a matter of weeks, you'll have it all set up, ready to go, and you'll be making money in no time. Everything is powered by AI. And it's a complete system. Right? So for you guys that have jumped in, thank you so much. I see a couple of you guys have been interested in this. For you guys that are on, that are streaming live in here, if you guys want to jump in, just message me, DM me on any of the socials, and we'll be able to work with you. Let me just make this bigger here. So so listen to me be clear. So that's $697 a month if you jump in and do it a monthly, or if you go yearly, it's $497 a month. That's less than $16 per day to build an event, and just one client will be more valuable than the whole year subscription of this, right? So your first 3 clients will easily pay for that. So it's a complete system. The 100K Day Accelerator has everything you need, all the AI tools, the prompts, the infrastructure, the automations, the whole lot is already designed for you, so you don't have to think about it. Easy to put together with all the training, the SOPs, everything that you need to build that. If I go into, plus the AI tools and infrastructure to do this, and you have the whole CRM, everything working for you, your automations. We talked about the back-end automations, the workflows, all of that stuff is already created. You don't even have to think about it, right? So if I share this with you. So we've built all the workflow lists, right? So all of your tracking, your Facebook tracking pixels and everything is all ready to go. The Masterclass, so you got your pre-event, your during event, post-event bookings, your pipeline, your nurture, your purchases, all of this stuff is already built, so you don't even have to think about any of this automation stuff. We've created all of the funnels and systems for you. Each one of these, you just have to go and fill in the gaps. You get AI to create your emails and drop it in, boom, 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 very quick. Go back again, post event, all of these systems. So if any of you guys have any questions around this, please feel free to ask me in the chat, and I can give you help on understanding any of these pieces. So once again, there's a zero risk guarantee. You show up 10 sprints, follow the system, you close 3 high ticket clients or you don't pay. I'm very confident that if you just follow the process, you're going to have results. All of my events and pages are on Kajabi. Do you integrate with Kajabi? Well, that's a very interesting, I've just taken on a client now who's got all of his stuff on Kajabi. And she said that having this new system is like riding a Bentley versus riding the sedan that she was riding using Kajabi. We can help you do that. I have a team that we have a virtual assistant team that helps you guys with any of this tech stuff as well. So if you're struggling with something and you want stuff done, our team can do this. We're confident to transfer from one system to the next. We can help you get set up very quickly. We have a virtual team that can help you do that without a problem. So yes, Dr. D, we can do that for you. It doesn't integrate, but we can get you somebody that can help you do that quickly. We're busy doing that at the moment. It takes about, depending on how much stuff you've got, and how much you want to bring across, we can get that across to you. But having it in Kajabi limits all of your functionality. Let me explain what I mean by that. With the system that we're giving you, the CRM, you have everything you could possibly ever need to run your business, right? So you've got your calendars, right? You've got your all of your contacts and everything that you can manage in here. You've got an opportunities pipeline, so your sales pipeline, everything, so you can run your sales process through here. You can collect money in different avenues, all your documents, your contracts, payment links. There's affiliate programs that you can create in here. You got your AI studio, which you can build everything using AI. We're bringing in AI agents into this. There's just a whole level of stuff that you don't have in Kajabi that makes the system so much more powerful. Your global timers, triggers, all this kind of stuff. Now, even though a lot of this stuff might seem overwhelming, that's why we have a complete clear system. You just follow the steps so this doesn't become overwhelming. All your sites, your funnels, stores, webinars, analytics, everything that you need is here. Your forms, your surveys, your memberships, all your training. You can create communities. You can have your courses, your products. We already have pre-established products for you for all your cash flow, your bumps, your VIP experiences, all that kind of stuff. Reputation, all this kind of stuff. And then ultimately, you plug into our Dragon Ads system. It should show it in a second. It's just it's not displaying because I haven't got this one connected up, but it's everything that you could possibly need. So hopefully that helps. I would encourage you to jump aboard into this. Oh, using GHL. Yes, it's a GHL platform, but it's designed in our methodology and follows our system. So it's not a blank GHL. It's got our entire system modulated so that it's easy for you to set up. Having a blank GHL account is overwhelming and confusing. With what we've done is we've created the entire system plus all the AI tools that we've got around this to build your infrastructure. Makes it really easy. So it's one complete system. So money back guarantee. So really, guys, what we have here is you got a fork in the road, really, right? You can keep doing what you're doing, trying to plug the little pieces together, getting a piece from here and a piece from there, trying to build your business, and it's like duct taping little strands together. You can keep doing the same thing you've been doing all this time, or you can jump into this cash flow system 100K day accelerator and start making money pretty fast. If you guys want to jump into our done for you service, we've got all the links there that you can utilize to come and hang out with me and work this out. Otherwise, for you guys that want to do it yourself, we've got the accelerator, easy for you to jump into. It comes with a money back guarantee, and you can get started literally straight away. Everything is ready, good to go. Jump in the training, all the modules, has everything that you need to make this all work. Has all the cash flow engines, the roadmaps, the accelerator, the whole lot that you need to make this all work. All right. So what are we going to do for you guys that have stuck around? I'm going to drop the cash flow calculator in the link. Thank you for sticking with me. Nick, can you drop that for people so you guys can toy around with that cash flow calculator? Very powerful to understand your numbers. For you guys that have jumped in, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Every one of you that have joined me today, I appreciate all the time and energy that you spend with me. Hope this was valuable to you and you've learned something today. We're here to support you and help you get to the fastest path from where you are now to doing $100,000 days, $100,000 months. And it's all possible when you have a complete system, right? Trying to duct tape pieces together leaves you overwhelmed, frustrated, and stuck. But when you have a system that takes you from A to B, your world changes because it becomes repeatable and it's systematized. So the next step for you guys, if you're ready to jump jump onto that system or come and contact me and we'll work out how you're going to be. For those that have jumped on, right, you can go ahead and jump into our community. You're going to be able to come catch up. Next week you'll jump into your first sprints. The sprints happen. In the sprints, we're going to help you build all of your stuff. It's a one-on-one session. We're putting all the stuff together and helping you get confident in being able to run your events without getting confused. We make this super easy for you. And the sprints are super valuable so you don't get lost in the weeds. You don't feel frustrated and overwhelmed. You just got clear step-by-step processes that are working for you, and you just go from one step to the next. We have a back-end support system, a back-end support team. If you need virtual assistants to help you with any of the stuff, integrations, all that kind of thing, we're there to help you. For all of you today, I want to say thank you so much for joining me. I respect having you here with me, and I'm really grateful. If you don't have any further questions, let me see if we got any other questions that have come out here. Oh, yeah. Oh, all right. Do you run ads for each masterclass? Yes, Dr. D, we run ads for every masterclass because it's just far more efficient than doing it organically. There's, when you get your numbers dialed in, it's about knowing how much money you're going to make from each event, what that looks like, and you can take that money and put it back into your events, and you keep running that ad cycle, and it compounds over time. Always got some questions here. If you guys have any questions, right? Here's a question somebody asked. I'm not tech savvy enough to build this. All right, yeah, so tech, that's why we build all the AI tools and the snapshots so that you don't have to overthink it. That's why we're a support team at the back end to help you to put all this stuff together. So if you're concerned about the tech and all that stuff, guys, take a minute. To go pro, you need the tech. We help you to put the stuff together so that you don't get overwhelmed. Everything that you possibly need to do this, I want to remove the tech overwhelm from you so you don't have to build everything from scratch. Oh yeah, somebody's asking me, yeah. So you don't have to build anything from scratch, right? We've got a pre-deployed system and then you customize it with AI. Once you get your AI system set up, creating content, creating scripts, creating funnels becomes so easy. Like then you're removing all the tech overwhelm and just focusing on strategy and building your business super fast. Somebody said, I can't afford $697 a month right now, right? Here's the thing, like if you can't afford $697 a month, you got to ask yourself, like I've got a discount on the yearly. What is it costing you not to have a system that's working for you? What is it costing you not to be making money right now? And the journey from where you are to where you need to be, there's a lot of tech that needs to be done and created. So we've built all the stuff, the infrastructure for you, so you're not starting from scratch, right? And the question isn't really whether you can afford it or not. The question is, what is it costing you not to have your events running efficiently? That's more expensive, right? Tommy said, I'm too busy to add another program onto my thing, right? So here's the thing: if you're too busy, like, what does that mean? You're probably doing one-on-one selling, first of all, and if you're doing one-on-one selling, you're going to be overwhelmed and frustrated. If you're too busy, that's really the problem, right? Because doing events, here's the thing: this whole week, we just run ads. I haven't had to think about anything. My social media is going. I've been tipping away. We've been doing all the AI stuff in the background, but I don't have to think about it. My calendar is much more free now. It's a lot easier to manage my time and my schedule because we sell once a week, or we sell when we move to bi-weekly. And that's how you win your time back. If you're too busy right now, it's because you don't have a complete system, because your system is working against you. You're trying to duct tape pieces together, and that's why you're frustrated and struggling. So I would encourage you to, let's help you win back your time so that you're not feeling like you're always running around like a headless chicken. This will work for you. Doesn't matter what niche you're in, where you're at right now, this really works. Somebody's asked, to you, I've already run webinars before and they didn't convert. Interesting, yep. That's because you didn't have a cash flow engine, right? You didn't have a system underneath it. Because it's not just one piece, it's not just the webinar, it's all the pieces that fit together as one system. That's how you build a business. So even though you may have run webinars before, did you have the clear messaging? Did your messaging work in? Did your ads, or your ads structured the right way? One ad, one image ad this week that we ran, and I've got a pretty good audience from that, right? And that's on a very small budget. So it's just about having a clear system. All right, so any other questions, guys? Any other questions? For those of you who have just enrolled, here's what happens next. So you'll check your inbox. So thank you to those guys that have enrolled. I see, guys, there's going to be a few people coming in. Here's what happens next, right? You're going to check your inbox for the next instructions, because there'll be an onboarding email that you'll get. You're going to get access to the academy. You're going to get access to all the tools and resources. Go into the community, introduce yourself, say hi to us, and we'll get to know you. And the first sprints, our next sprints happen next week, so you'll be able to jump in, come and join, catch up with me, and we'll start building your infrastructure and your systems, right? A lot of the stuff will be already designed and built. If you guys can come and catch up, and then it'll be go, 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 go. Build these sprints. Let's get your stuff happening so you can get action and making money as fast as possible. All right, we got to Dr. D. Amazing. I need to target physicians, a woman over 40. Do your, sorry, I'm missing something there. Do your ads get that target to get that right woman in my masterclass? Oh, 100%. So Dr. D's asked a really good question, yeah? And so I need to target physicians and high earning women over 40. Do your ads get that target to get the right woman in my masterclass? Here's an interesting fact, right? The more targeted you are, the better your results are going to be. So the fact that you have a very specific market and target that you're aiming for means that you're going to be able to have much better results with your ads, because that targeting makes it really, really easy to target them. Where will we find them? YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Those are the top places right now where we're getting most of our results from. But 100% physicians are on the internet. We'll be able to target them. It's just a matter of building the right messaging to attract them. I do weight loss and menopause wellness. Yep. I've got clients that are in that space that do really well in that. The more, and this is the thing, the more specific and clear you are on who you're serving, the better your results are going to be. And that's what we'll work on. The very first part we're going to work on is getting your message so that you can attract the right audience. Because when you do that, when your messaging is dialed in, the algorithm now is going to work in your favor to bring in the right audience into your masterclasses, and then it's easier to sell. That's the power of being very specific on your market. So I love that you really got a very powerful start there. There is no issue with your market. You've got a big audience, and there's a lot of pain in that market for you to serve. And the more specific you are, the cheaper your ad cost is, and the more profit you can make. That's the power of getting that message right. Awesome. So really good questions today. A lot of engagement around here. Love it. You guys are incredible. I need some coffee. So good, so good, so good. All right, guys. That's incredible. Thank you for you guys that have jumped on board. We'll see you next week in the sprints. We'll have an onboarding session and have you set up all of your stuff so you can start running the right way. Oh, yes. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lucy. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. You're moving slides into either a normal PowerPoint presentation. It was very hard to see. Oh, thank you for sharing that. As many slides, all the moving around, distracting. The links. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate that. Yes, I've got a whole new slide system coming, which is going to be very powerful in the next events. You guys will be access. This is cool, right? So imagine, I think I have one here. Let me show you. We're busy developing this. I know I have, this will be cool to show you guys. Where is my thing? Come on. A whole slide system, right? Imagine you've been doing all your slides on Canva or all this. So we're building this slide infrastructure right now. Is this it? Oh yeah. So this is with Claude. I'll share this with you. Still nearly completed. But instead of having your slides on Canva and that, Claude creates your slide deck and puts all your content into it. And it's HTML, so we can start designing and creating all these cool structures and designs for your slides. Super, super, super powerful. I can't wait. That'll be coming in the next actually next week. We got a whole slide system that we're doing, which helps you create your slides. And you can just prompt it and it brings all your slides together. And this is my whole system. And there's the offer stack. There's some pieces of the copy and the marketing that you talk about. We got before and afters and all that kind of stuff. So this is my actual presentation that we're developing using Claude, and you get this whole HTML structure so you can run your slides and you can just create them like whatever you're doing, training slides, the whole lot, everything. You just punch in and prompt Claude and it'll design all these slides. So this is just a beginning phase of it. It's really looking good. I was impressed when my team sent this. So that, what was said there before, thank you so much. But yes, I get it. We're building a whole slide deck infrastructure for this, which is so awesome. Like the stuff that you can do with Claude. Yes, Dr. Lucy, thank you. There's so many cool things coming. And so you guys are going to get access to all of this, our new stuff, and all the things coming into the future to make life easier for your events. Thank you so much, guys. All of you that have joined me, for all of you that have been streaming up on the socials, thank you so much. Comment, let me know your thoughts, and if you want to jump in or catch up with me, I will talk to you again soon. Guys, thank you so much. You have an amazing day going forward, and we will talk again soon. Take care.